Hello. Today what I want to do is go over the February 2019 APOCABOX. This one here is called the Tobacco Hawk. I'm going to read this first section. I think it's very important to understand where this concept of the box came from. So this is what it says. This box is inspired by my grandpa Tucky from the great state of Kentucky. For him, survival was a way of life, long before a survivalist was cool. This box is full of items that were either directly inspired by him or that I know he would have used and appreciated. One of the most prized possessions is a tool Grandpa Tucky made that I call the Tobacco Hawk. The blade is a crudely shaped reverse tomahawk that he cut and ground out of an old saw blade tossed aside by a local lumber mill. The handle is a 36-inch piece of hickory that he harvested in the woods behind his house. The blade is attached to the handle with a bent nail and some kind of an improvised pounded rivet. Grandpa was a tobacco farmer and used this hawk to harvest tobacco. I've included a photo of it above. Can't you just see the character and history in this tool? Enclosed in your box this month is my own updated version of Grandpa Tucky's Tobacco Hawk. I hope you enjoy it and the other items. Remember, it's not if, but when. I'm going to go over these items, not particularly in order as I have on the sheet, but this here I was very excited about. What this is a 2 foot by 2 foot waterproof utility panel. And it's about to become your favorite piece of gear. That's what it says in here. It has countless applications while surviving, camping, hiking, or bugging out. It says it can be used as a waterproof seat, table covering, food prep area, floor mat, shelter tent entry mat for shoe or boot removal in inclement weather, or it can be even a waterproof space for prepping fire material and kindling. Now, a tarp like this can be used for so much. But what I love about this is it has orange on the other side. This is great for signaling and being seen if you are ever lost or stranded. It's got also the camouflage on this side, but it's stitched very, very, very well. And it's basically 2 layers here. And it may, no, I think it's just the 2 layers, but this is waterproof. There may be a little piece of insulation in there. I'm not quite sure. I can't feel it. I feel something in there, I think, but I'm not sure. But the grommets on each side. This has many, many uses. And to be honest, it is going to be one of my favorite pieces of kit. Because if you're in the woods as much as I am, stuff like this, little pieces of tarp, come in so handy. And I can see so many uses for something like this. So I was very excited to see this in the box. So this here is one use right there. I can leave that right like that. I have gathered snow in here. And I can take a cordage and put these grommets all in like this. And then put the cordage through it and tie this. And this is full of snow. If I just put this near a fire that I have no chance of it catching on fire, just the warmth alone will melt the snow in here, and I can have a little cup or something underneath, even a birch bark container or a bark container that I made that I'm not going to throw in a fire, and this here will melt that snow and drip into that so I can get a drink. That's just one use right there that you can use this for. Because that's going to melt this snow, it's going to warm up, slowly melt, it's going to run down, and it's going to start dripping off of this end. That's just one, like I said. Very, very useful piece of kit. Next is this You Dig It trowel. Many, many uses. Has a carabiner. It basically weighs nothing, and it's fairly rugged. Now, you're not going to do a lot of prying with this, but loose sand and such, it will come in very handy. This is what Creek has to say about this. Grandpa Tucky is responsible for teaching me how to poop in the woods. I can't tell you how many times we'd be out gathering walking sticks and he'd just squat down right next to me and take care of his business. Well, I'll never be able to erase those memories from my mind. Those were still some valuable lessons. Like Grandpa, I take great pride in using the bathroom more outside than I do inside. These days I've modernized my wilderness toilet game with this handy lightweight digging tool from UST. It's perfect for digging quick cat holes, foraging for roots, clearing fire pits, or clearing debris. So yeah, that there, I have a trowel that I carry in some of my kits. This here is another very good option. You can see that it's fairly rugged, but you're not going to put a whole lot of pressure on it, and you don't normally with the smaller trowels anyhow. Next, I'm going to show a Bushcraft Fishing Kit. Now, this fishing kit contains approximately 36 meters of fishing line. It has a winder, 2 swivels, 2 hooks, 2 weights, and 2 lures. Now, I open this up, and it's a nice little kit. This here is what they use, and this reminds me, and it's the same thing you use for kites, kite string. Now this here, nice little option for brook fishing and such. It has, I don't want to lose these, a lure, there's another lure there. Great for ice fishing. We've got some rather large sinkers. Now, that would be good if you're throwing it out and leaving it on the bottom, but it's not going to be much good for brook fishing for me. And then it has a couple other hooks and swivels in there. I don't want to dig them out because I know I'll probably just lose them in the snow. But very cool little kit that you can throw in a bag or in a pocket if you're going out on a hike. You see a spot that, you know, come across the stream or such, and you want to throw in a hook, see if you catch something. So, very nice little piece of kit. The next item, I'm going to read it and then show you the item. And this is the Mam pocket knife. Grandpa Tucky always carried a pocket knife. He used it for everything. Mam Knives, made in Portugal, is one of my all-time favorite knife brands. I'm sure Grandpa would have loved the functionality and feel of them as much as I do. The old world charm of Mam Knives reminds me of my grandpa. This blade is hand sharpened, and the accompanying fork and bottle cap remover are the perfect EDC addition to the blade. And what that is this right here. And right here you can see that's a little bottle cap opener. This you can put right on a key ring. This little fork folds out just right to there. Now, I could eat olives with this, but I'm not sure what I would eat with that. It's pretty small. There's my finger, you know, it's pretty small. But it's meant to be a keychain type knife. Now this knife here, not a bad little knife. I'm going to break a branch. And let's see how it works. Oh wow. Carves rather nice. So, just a nice little EDC keychain knife, and yeah, nice addition to this kit. I like this box because of the memories that Creek shares with us. Now, next on the list is Stacy Lynn's handbook, Preserving 101, Canning, Freezing, and Drying. Now what this says is, I wish you could have seen Grandma and Grandpa's basement. The makeshift wooden shelves were lined with canned vegetables from their incredible garden. Canning and preserving was a way of life for that generation, especially in Kentucky. This handbook by Stacy Lynn Harris over at gameandgarden.com is the perfect introduction for any long-term food storage plan. The methodology, clear instruction, and recipe bank within these pages is a wealth of knowledge straight out of the old way of doing things. So with this here, I'm going to show you. I like the color of the book actually, the way they did it. It's a purple, but I like the way they did that. But you have an introduction here. You actually have a picture of her and colored pictures in there. You have a method of oven drying and how to sun dry fruits and vegetables, drying figs, jerky recipe. So you have many different types of drying different foods and such, doing it with a oven, with a sun drying and so on. I have not looked at this yet, so pretty cool piece of information, really. And as you know, knowledge is power. Why I really like this box this month is, like I mentioned, you hear the memories that Creek had with his grandfather, and it kind of touches my heart some, because a month or so back I had created a tool that my father had passed down to me, and that was the Hatchet Hawk, is what I called it. And that's right here. Now my dad, he had used this hatchet, for everything as well, for many years. He ended up breaking the handle. So he told me, if you want to have that and put a new handle in it someday, go ahead. Well, I don't carry a hatchet around here very often, but I wanted one that I could exchange the handle if need be. So I contacted my friend Darren at Lone Ford Blades and asked Darren if I brought over my hatchet head, if we could expand this and make it into a hawk head. So it still has the weight of a hatchet, but I just tap this right here and I can take this handle out and replace it with the limb very fast. So it's more versatile for me, because I can change the handle. If I ever break it, I just pop it out and throw another one in within minutes. So that there, using this and knowing it was my dad's, has sentimental value. And you can almost feel that same sentimental value through this box with Creek.